Eileen, a very good evening to you. How are you this evening?
Fine, thanks. Hi, Celine. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Do you know what I loved is our off-air conversation. We really did get into a conversation there.
Yeah, true.
That I think if people heard us talking about babies and things, they probably thought, well, that has definitely nothing to do with a thriller book. But maybe it does.
Yeah, it may do.
It may. Yeah. But you're here to tell us all about your book. Now, your first book was Remote Control.
That's correct.
And you had spoken about that here with Shane.
I did, yes, that's right.
And how did that go? Sorry, I know I've kind of gone off topic already, but how did that go down? Were you happy with the success of it?
It was. It went really well. I've been asked if I'd do a sequel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to start it, but then something completely different happened. I was contacted and asked if I would sell the rights to it to be written up as a screenplay.
Oh.
So in the US, so it's gone there now. It is screenplay, and who knows, we might see that one on the big screen. So
oh, great! Yeah. That must have been a great call to receive.
That was really wow,
astounding. You know, when you hear of with things like with the Oscars being announced now today, and I've often heard of. I'm trying to think of the Irish movie that got the Oscar last year. I cannot think of the name of it, and I was only speaking to the guys as well. But that little dream is out there, isn't it? Especially when you put something down on paper, I suppose, to get
definitely.
recognised.
It's just like someone is that loved your book that much that they were willing to put it up on the screen. They've just, that's amazing.
It happens a lot as well at the moment. I think that's the great thing about books. They really are being recognised on screen now. Yeah,
true. Yeah. And initially, Remote Control was written to be a quick read. It was to get people back in, when every one of us have busy lives, and reading is the last thing on your mind at the end of the day, You'd rather just sit in front of the TV and be entertained rather than,
true.
Picking up a book. But to get people back to reading, they've introduced quick reads.
Okay.
So that's what it was. It was just to be a quick read. So, now it's ended up as a screenplay, so that's mad.
It's blossomed all on its own. I think that's great. Well, all on its own, but I'm sure it's an idea that you had in your head first before you put it onto paper. Or is that the way it works for you?
No, it wasn't actually, because it never crossed my mind. Screenplay never okay. crossed my mind. I couldn't even write a screenplay, and fair play to those who can.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how.
Well, how did you get into writing?
Into writing. Not only do I write, but I am a carer for my now 12-year-old son. He has autism.
Okay.
And in his early days, he had speech delay. So to encourage speech development, I read a lot to him, and I even made up stories of my own when I ran out of books.
Yeah.
And he loved them, and there was a marked improvement in him. But having loved writing stories anyway as a child myself, I also used the writing as a kind of escape, and anyone who's out there who's a full-time carer would know how important it is to have some time out for yourself, and however difficult that can be, and writing was mine.
Okay, so it's kind of like your doorway, because I love to paint, so everybody has their thing, I suppose, that they use. It's slight escapism, is it?
Yeah, it was, and I found I enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. You obviously enjoyed it because you're on to your second book now. But why thrillers? I was asking you that question there via email, but why thrillers?
I think I was always veered towards reading thrillers or watching a thriller, and one of my favourite writers is Dean Koontz. He's brilliant. I don't know if you know him, but of him. He's brilliant.
I do.
But and another thing, that question always reminds me of a friend of mine. Once a week, we always went to the cinema, and she, halfway through or less than halfway through the movie, I'd say, "Oh, I'm bored.
Okay.
I know where this movie's going. I know what it's leading up to." And she's, "You don't know. How do you know? What's going to happen?" And I'd tell her. And then when it turned out to be right, which it always did, she'd say, "Oh, why bother going to cinema? You should just write a good story of your own."
Oh, great. And you did.
Yeah.
I love it. That's brilliant. I wouldn't be like that at all. I wouldn't have a clue. So, see, that's in itself shows that you were destined in some way, really, to put pen to paper, or to put fingers to keypad as it is now, I suppose. Actually, there's a question. Do you actually write things down, physically write things down on paper?
I do.
Yeah,
and
lovely.
I have paper notes all over the house, and
brilliant.
It's annoying for everyone.
Oh, but I'm sure it's therapeutic if you see an idea on the wall and suddenly you kind of see things linking to each other.
Yeah, this is it. I'd have notes everywhere. Something would come to my mind, a line would come into my head, and I'd say, oh, that was a brilliant line, and I'd put it on paper and put it down, and I would go back to it. There's notes everywhere, but I'd always remember where they are.
Okay.
Crazy.
No, it's genius if you ask me, because I actually really like that way of working. I really, really do. But where do you come up with some of your best ideas now? Like, where do you get inspiration from? Is it from cooking? Is it from just like going around your everyday life? Is it something that you see in the street? I don't know.
Yeah, I think things that are happening that are going on. I mean, like the second book now, it's based in a remote desert base, and it's about UFOs and things like that. And that's very in at the moment. People, it's more like X-Files type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I have an interest in stuff like that. So
yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with having interest in that. Every time, like, I opened the paper yesterday and they're talking about asteroids and one coming near to the Earth tonight, I think it is, and also the fact the amount of Earth-like planets there is out there, as they're saying, you know. So
yeah, so it's really in there in the media now. Yeah, everyone is interested in looking up and outward. Yeah. Yeah,
instead of vampires.
Yeah.
It's a change.
Oh yeah, there's too much of that. Too much of it.
There's been an awful lot of vampire stuff going on. We need a shift, and I like the sound of this. Now, obviously, there was some excerpts from the book read on TV3 there just before Christmas, and they were promoting New Irish Writers, which must have been lovely to see your pieces. Or were you actually reading them? I didn't actually see this now myself, so I was just wondering, were you reading them or was somebody reading them?
It wasn't. It was Martin himself.
Oh, you really?
Yes. It was Martin that read out the excerpt for him. Yeah, he spoke about it.
Okay, because I was wondering, and is it funny seeing somebody else reading out your work?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I've had there's a writers group that comes into me here, and each of them they have put certain emphasis on certain parts of a story, you know. So I suppose it's kind of, you probably have an idea of how it should sound in your head, but at the same time, when I heard about that, I thought that's fabulous promotion, and you're doing more promotion as well this weekend because you're going to be in Barker and Jones.
That's right, yes. At 3 o'clock I'm in Barker and Jones, yes, on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it because it's my hometown. Naas is my hometown, and I love being there, yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Naas is my hometown too, Eileen.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're Naasians, as I call it.
That's it, yeah. And some good people, good writers, good, talents coming out of Naas.
There's something in the water, I think.
Must be.
Has to be. It's just we're bred to be artistic and talented.
Yeah, true.
It seems that way. And you're in Athy now these days with your what sounds like lovely family. I'm still fascinated because when I heard you on the phone first, I thought you'd said you had 2 children, but you're 5. So hello to them all.
Yes, I do. I have 5. Yeah, two live in the UK. Dean, he's 22, and he's into acting, and he has been in a movie recently.
Oh.
Yes, he had a part in Strippers versus Werewolves. He was the pizza guy.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, but he was also the gaffer and the runner in it as well.
Excellent.
So that was fun for him. He graduated from Brighton Film School, and yeah, he lives over there. And then my daughter, 21, she's in the UK too, studying psychology. So
fantastic.
I have 3 with me, yeah.
And your youngest is 2, you were telling me.
He is, yeah, 2. Wild and wonderful.
Wild and wonderful. I love it.
That's it.
And I had just one more question, because I think I could talk to you for the evening. When it comes to finding time to actually write, how do you go about doing that? Do you schedule yourself or? Yeah,
crazy. I've been known to write while they run around screaming and shouting and playing, and it hasn't fazed me at all. Because, anytime, anywhere.
Okay.
No problem. You have to, I suppose, my circumstances.
Absolutely. No wonder you have notes all over the walls and everything. I just have this fantastic vision of your house, and I love it.
Yes, attached to the child as he runs by. Yes.
The book is called, by the way, it's The Blue File. Am I right?
It is. It's The Blue Files, yeah.
And obviously they can check you out now. You're going to be in Barker and Jones and Naas, and you'll be doing some signing there as well. People should pop along and grab their own copy and have a chat with you. No doubt have a chat with you. And I'm sure
definitely. It'd be great to see all the old faces I know, and some new ones would be great too, yeah.
Lovely. Really. And obviously as well, there's going to be people out there looking forward to the sequel to Remote Control, but we hope to see it on screen. And you never know, your son could end up starring in it at some point.
Well, he hopes.
Very good. Listen, Eileen, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we wish you the best in the future as well.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you.